Lasciatemi cantare. Oh, hey everyone, RG here, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build on the channel. I hope you're all doing amazing today, and yes, you're not gonna get any more singing from me in this video, probably because I'm gonna get a copyright strike for that. So yeah, I could not even use that song, and I love it. I love it. Heads off, or hat off. For all the Italians out there, this is an amazing song. I love it. Anyway, hey everyone, RG here, and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build on the channel. And today we are going to Rome, and not just Rome. I brought to you the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum from Italy, into the Sims 4 game. And yes, right before the party pooper is gonna jump on in the comment section and gonna say, wait a minute, but this is nothing like the Colosseum in Rome. So first of all, this is my interpretation for it, okay? Just live with it. And second, I actually checked all the Colosseums that people created on the gallery, and all of them are like octagon shaped. And let's face it, the Colosseum never were an octagon shape. I don't know why people decide to make it as an octagon shape. Well, I do know. People wanted to create it with walls, the things that I basically didn't do here, and the only way to do it is to create it as an octagon shape. But yeah, as you can see, I created it rounded. So this is the first Colosseum on the gallery that's gonna be rounded shape, basically the real shape of the Colosseum. For those who don't know anything or where it is or stuff, the Colosseum is basically an amphitheater located in Rome. The history of it is actually kind of sad. The place was a bloodshed place, kinda. The Roman people back at the time really enjoyed watching some people fighting to the death and fighting animals and fighting, like, you know, gladiators and stuff. Gladiators, people do not aware of it, but they were actually slaves. It wasn't that great to be a gladiator. I do think it wasn't that great. Anyway, if there are any Italians in the audience, they're more than welcome to shed some light about the Colosseum, or maybe, you know, spread some information. You're more than welcome to do that. But again, for the party pooper, this is not an exact replica of the Colosseum. This is my interpretation for it, and take it or leave it. Okay, now, for those who are following me for more than like 2 days now, you'll notice that, yeah, this is, I think it's like the 6th or the 7th, I'm not quite sure what now, maybe even more, of things buildings that I created from around the world. I created the Big Ben, I created, what else? The Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles, I believe. And I created a double-decker bus, which is from London, and I created Egypt, like the pyramid in Egypt. So yeah, this is not the first thing that I'm creating around the world, and I do want to point something out there. Many of my builds are actually followers' requests. Now, I do not call you fans because I don't believe that I have fans. I have fans, like those who are rotating. No, I don't believe I have fans. I believe I have followers. But anyway, many of my builds are from followers' requests. And I just want to make clear for something. In order for me to build something that people asking for in the comment section, either of two things must happen. One of them, and the more important one, is that it is something that I wanted, or I had it in mind to create for a long time, and because I saw many people ask for it, I will create it. So I really need to be excited about that build that someone like asked for. And the second one is actually by the popularity of your request. If someone asks for a build and I see that only 1 or 2 likes on it, I'm not gonna create it, especially if I'm not that hyped to create it. Because just like in real life, if you're creating something that you're not really hyped or excited or really want to do, that's exactly how it's gonna look. So I don't want to create something if I'm not really excited for it. So if you're asking something and I'm not making it, don't take it personally. It's nothing personal. It's something that I really need to be on it, like really excited about it. And in a bit, I'm going to tell you a nice story about Rome and me. Actually, my honeymoon was at Rome, so I've been to the Colosseum, and it was one of the best places that I've been to, and I really enjoyed it, and that's why I really wanted to do that. But yeah, again, if you're asking for some build and I'm not really doing it, or it's gonna take time for me to do it, just know what is the reason for that. But again, if you're asking something and many people, and by many I say many, like 50, 60, 70, 100 likes on your comment, probably there is a good chance that I will create it. So you're more than welcome to ask for builds, because sometimes even I don't think about the builds that you're asking for, but many others will be happy to see it. So feel free to do that in the comment section down below. Now, as you can see, I actually created the Colosseum out of the Journey to Batuu. And actually, if you don't have the Journey to Batuu pack, I gotta tell you that it is one of my top 5. Yeah, hold it. Don't scream at me. It's actually one of my top 5 packs to own in order to build. If you are a builder, you definitely need to have it. You don't want to, you need to have it. The items to build with in that pack is just amazing. That big rounded thing that kind of circled the whole Colosseum here was from that pack. So without it, I can't say that it wouldn't be looking that great, but it was a bit weirder, if that makes any sense. But yeah, many items in that pack really worth, and I use that big rounded stony shape over there. I don't really know how to describe it, but I use that from that pack. And those big columns are from the Get Together pack, and the upper area on the Colosseum that's semi half. Is that a thing? Semi-half circle over there is from, I believe it's Jungle Adventure. I'm not quite sure. So if you want to just check it out, just slow the video to 0.5. Yeah, you're gonna hear me really, really weird, but you will be able to see from where I took that part from. And I believe it's from the Jungle Adventure. And those ruins right now that you can see that I'm placing. And yeah, this is exactly the place where it's not exactly like the Colosseum, because they are 3 levels, and I decided not to place them on all the 3 levels of the Colosseums. I think there are even more than 3 levels, but I decided not to place them all over just because I tested it and it doesn't look good. It was looking kind of messy, and I wanted you to be able to see all the beauty of those columns that's circling the Colosseum, and you will see that, especially at night. The night version of this Colosseum is amazing. You'll see in a bit. Now, as I said, because I didn't want to create it as a, I don't know, like a octagon shaped, and I checked on the gallery, all the real Colosseum over there are from like the octagon shape, and I want to be rounded. And all of them at the gallery are 64 by 64. Yeah, I'm at the part that I'm gonna give you some information about the build itself. So many of the versions on the gallery, or almost all of them, are 64 by 64 versions. And I know that you're not gonna be happy with a 64 by 64, because I do listen to you people. I do listen when you tell me that you don't want to destroy some out of my builds, because usually I build on 64 by 64. So I decided I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna build the Colosseum on 64 by 64. By the way, if I were building it on a 64 by 64, I could actually create it as a almost 99% identical replica of the Colosseum with all the levels and stuff. So I decided that I'm gonna make this one a small version of it. So how small? You have 5 seconds to guess on what size this lot is, and by the time that I'm saying that, I noticed that you have that small bubble on top left. Yeah, okay, you don't need to guess. It's a 30 by 30. I myself shocked by the fact that this is a 30 by 30, and I managed to shove the Colosseum, which is gigantic build, into 30 by 30, because any of you can find the place to place it. Now, if you do ask me, like all of you have a 30 by 30 in the game, and I think 30 by 30 is the most popular lot in the game. 30 by 30 or 20 by 25? No, 20 by 15 maybe? I don't know, I don't care. 30 by 30 is the size of this lot, so you can find it. You can find a place for it probably in any map. And if you, okay, so let's talk about the map where I built it. I built it in Windenburg, and the exact location of it, I will place a small, I don't know if I can do a small one, so maybe for a brief moment I will show you exactly the location of it, like right now. And so you can see exactly where I built it and where I place it. Now, to be honest, I tested a lot of places to place the Colosseums. Now, for those who never been into the Colosseum, or like to the Colosseum, doesn't have to be inside, but for those who never visit the place, it kind of in the middle of the city. It's not like some remote place nowhere or something. It's actually in the middle of the city, and the city is kind of with small, medium-sized builds, like houses and buildings, and not skyscrapers. That's the meaning of small and medium size. Now, this is important because I built this in here, and I noticed I didn't want to have a toilet in this map, and like in this lot. And the lot itself is actually gonna be a restaurant. It's gonna be, no, you're not gonna eat inside of the Colosseum. You're actually gonna eat outside with the Colosseum at your background. This is gonna be the most romantic place in all of your game probably. And I decided I'm gonna bring and combine another build that many people really wanted to see how I created it. And it was my food truck festival build. And in that build, I created like food trucks. So I decided I'm gonna bring one truck. I create one truck in this build, like parking near the Colosseum, which will be a functional, yeah, you know me, I'm never gonna build something that you cannot really use. So you're gonna have a really beautiful, romantic Italian pizzeria inside that food truck, and basically you're gonna sit near the Colosseum, grab something to eat, maybe drink some wine, having some flirting with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you're liking. So yeah, you're gonna do that while the Colosseum is behind you. Most romantic place, most beautiful place, and you would not believe how this place looks at night. I, like, in purpose, I didn't show you the Colosseum at night. You're gonna see it at the end. So you're not gonna see me placing lights in the Colosseum, because I didn't want you to see it, because this is the most beautiful things that you're gonna see in this build. So in a bit, I am gonna start building the food truck itself. I really loved it. I actually used the pizzeria authentic like brick pizzeria cooker. How do you call that? Like, not grill? Oven? It's not really an oven because it made from stone. So I don't know, the original one, the one that I created on my mall build, like the one that I started at 2021 on the channel. So if you missed that, you definitely want to see my strip mall with like what, 12 attractions that you can do, and there is a car wash and pizzeria and many other things that I'm not gonna show you or not gonna tell you, so you need to go and check it out. But if you want to see how I made that pizza oven from bricks, that's the place to see, because there you're gonna see me creating it. Here I just grabbed a pre-made room that I created and shoved it into that food truck. Now, before I'm going to get to that, I'm going to tell you a small story about, well, me and Italy. So actually, I've been to Rome with my wife 1 year before the whole COVID-19 pandemic started. So we actually feel very lucky that we managed to be there before the whole thing happened. And because who knows when it's going to be the next time that we'll be able to visit other places normally, you know, without the whole distance restrictions and mask and stuff, the whole things that kind of ruining the whole experience. Because when you're going to a certain place in the world, you are actually you want to feel the real vibe. And I gotta tell you that when I've been to Rome, actually that was the place where we visited in Italy. We've been to Rome and we've been to the Vatican City, which is, I don't know why it's called Vatican City. As far as I know, the Vatican is actually the smallest country on Earth. It's not city, it's like a country. It's the smallest one. Anyway, we've been to Rome, and yeah, so we've been to the Colosseum. It was so beautiful. The vibe, the feeling around, the happiness. You can see all the restaurant owners and the restaurants they're just full of joy. It was so fun, and that is actually my experience with Rome. And yeah, funny story is that I never been into the inside of the Colosseum because we were actually going by foot from our hotel to the Colosseum. It was so nice. It was fun because there are not much differences in height there. It's not like that you need to climb very high or go down the hill. It's almost totally flat, that area. So maybe the area that we were in. So yeah. So we've been to the Colosseum, but the line over there was so long, and we really impatient in terms of standing. I do know that there is like a skip line stuff. But I think that the most magnificent thing about the Colosseum is the outside of it. So we actually went around it, took some pictures. We have beautiful pictures from that place, and yeah. So that's why I really wanted to build that Colosseum in the game. So now all the Italians and all the people who enjoy Italy can enjoy Italy or mini Italy in the game. Remember, this is only 30 by 30 build. You can place it almost anywhere. But the lot that I told you that I built it is basically the most fitting one for this build. Oh, one of the reasons for that is because I didn't want to place toilet. I don't know if I said that. Maybe I did, but I didn't finish the whole sentence. So I didn't want to place toilet in this build. There is a mini toilet or one toilet inside the food truck for the owner, but you're not expecting the customer to go over there, right? So you do want to place this lot near a public restroom or public place for them to go, number 1 and 2, because I didn't want to place a public one in this. I tried, but it kind of ruined the whole vibe and feeling and joy of the beautiful Colosseum. So yeah, try to place this build near a public restroom. Okay, this is important. That's why if you're placing it over here, there is a public restroom like a few feet away from the build itself, so it's not really a problem. So as you can tell from the building process itself and the video, I used the tool mod in this build a lot. And by a lot, I think that almost the whole Colosseum I made with the tool mod. Yeah, the first ring I had to place it manually. And what the hell is going on outside? What is it? Is that a truck going backward? I don't know, but I hear squeaks like brakes or something. Anyway, so where was I? So yeah, the first ring I had to place manually, but the second ring, instead of placing it manually, I actually marked all the first ring as a active items, and then I copy it. Now, for those who don't know how to copy, if I remember right, it's really hard to know what you're doing if you're not doing it and you're trying to explain. I think it's by holding the Alt key and the Shift and clicking while you have an active object, and active objects are like in greenish, like half visible green color. Those are the active items. So if you are holding Alt and Shift while you have an active item, you can click somewhere else, not on another item, because you gonna mark it also as an active item. So press anywhere else and you will like copy the whole structure, the whole group of items that you are kinda working on right now. So that's how I did it. I copied the first ring, tried to center it into the first ring that already exists inside, and then I elevated the whole thing by numbers. And by numbers, you bring it up by 1 or by 1.5 or 2 or whatever you want, and you do small tweaks and changes to it to make sure it's exactly fitting. So yeah, I used the tool mod to do that. I used the tool mod a lot in this build, and I super love it. Twisted Maxi is the one that created it. I'm not the one who created it. I don't know why people will think that. I can create builds, not mods. And again, I said mod, but don't look at it as a mod. People tend to look at tool mod as a mod that they need to own in their game in order to load some other people creations. No, you don't. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, if you don't have the tool mod, you don't need to own it, and that's the beauty, because that way even console players can enjoy builds like this and builds like other builders in the community. So yeah, feel free to enjoy it. It will be on the gallery for you to download and enjoy. Tray files, of course, will be for 30 days. People, I see many people saying after like, I don't know, half a year, I created something, and after half a year, they are like commenting, the second option is broken. It's not broken, it expired. You weren't here. Sorry, you missed it. Maybe one day when I'll decide to do some sort of, I don't know, 50K subscribers special, maybe I will re-upload the tray files. I said it before, I do not support playing on a cracked version. Like, you know what, I'll try to explain it real quickly. One day I will explain it a bit more, but yeah, even when I was younger, I was playing on a cracked version of the Sims game. And I can tell you, I was playing the cracked version of Sims 3. And but I was a kid. I was young. I had no money to spend on it. But once you can, that's exactly my point. When you can do that, you definitely need to. But I do know that many people that can spend money on the game do not spend the money on it just because they don't want to spend money on a game that they can get basically for free. And that's why I do not support playing on a cracked version. I can understand that you cannot spend a lot of money on the game, but for an example, the base game was free for like for a month, something like that, in 4 months ago, something like that. It was for free. People could get it, and they still didn't or haven't yet. So yeah, so if you cannot really spend money on the game, I can understand that, but I do not support many people that can buy the game and do not do that because they just don't want to spend money on something that they can get for free. Now, you just need to remember one thing. People spend 3, 4, 5 years of their life to create that game so you could enjoy it. The least that you can do is to pay that money, if you can, for them. So if you do not do that, there is a good chance that another game will come, because the success of the game is what gonna determine if they're gonna make another game. That's how it works. So that's why I do not support people who play cracked version of the game. But because I do understand that not everyone can spend a lot of money on the game, I do give you a chance for a 30-day. I think this is a fair deal from me for those who playing the cracked version. And last but not least, we're gonna say our blessing and we're gonna wish happy birthday to the Sims franchise. Yeah! It was launched on the 4th on February 2000, which means that yesterday it celebrated its 21 anniversary. Is that a thing, or birthday? So yeah, happy birthday to the Sims franchise. We wish to see Sims 5 this year. Maybe a teaser or something, but we really want to see Sims 5. Yeah, this is a small hint. And look at that, I spoke to the whole video. 5 minutes I ate your brain, and you're still here. So if you are still here, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you do want to see more builds just like this next time. Click the bell notification so you won't miss it, because I heard that YouTube does not always send the info. So if you have the bell, you have much higher chance. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again at the next video. Enjoy the tour, and until next time, keep that Sims party going for me, because RGR Gaming signing off.